All right, hello everyone. Wave meteorologist Brian Good. It is now about 4 minutes after 2 o'clock on this Sunday. The alert day continues today as we are still dealing with the final round. Actually, the first stages really of this final round of showers and storms to be rolling through wave country as we continue for the remainder of this afternoon all the way through, I would say, close to sunset, and then we'll have the chance to relax. So I do not see this being a different setup compared to the past several where we've had to deal with storms all into the overnight hours, especially worry about some that could be strong or severe. This setup will feature everything a bit earlier. The downside to that is that there is more heating involved here today with them being an afternoon timing, so they can be stronger. And certainly when it comes to the hail potential we're going to see. So as always, you guys, if you're watching on streaming right now on Roku, Fire Stick, or on the app, you're not able to see the comments that are flying up as I post them here in a second. If you're on social media, you will see them, but that's also where you need to go if you need to ask anything. We'll be on the social media side. I know a lot of folks are going to be asking exact timing for your location. I'll try to answer that hopefully in the next few minutes based on everything I'm going to show you, but keep in mind it's going to be hard to get specifics with 30 counties. All right, we'll begin. Let's see. Okay, let's do a quick update on the radar, and then we'll kind of walk you through where we stand on some of the warnings. First off, this is the first round that is developing on a boundary that was relatively dormant. It formed roughly around 7 o'clock this morning. Didn't have any rain with it, but the boundary was pretty evident. It only took heating, the sun, to hit it just for a couple of hours this morning. That has allowed it now to begin to pop. So that's where we got the first warnings forming along that boundary. That's why it looks like a line right now. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning that is out for Breckenridge County and Meade County. This is going to take us all the way to the next, I would say, 30 minutes or so. Actually, about 45 minutes after the hour will be that severe thunderstorm warning. We did see hail come out of this across Breckenridge County as it was moving out of Hancock. There were reports of quarter-sized hailstones in that area. So that's the reason really for the main warning as it's tracking to the northeast. Now, as these storms continue to evolve, they will likely try to connect a little more into the line a little further northeast. So far, we've only seen one small downpour. It's been trying to form north of Simpsonville, moved right into Oldham County. Another portion of this is trying to connect. So far, it hasn't happened just west of the city. And for those of you that are out and about, certainly into Madison, if you're watching there, strong storms in the area, but I don't see anything severe right now. But man, there's quite the downpour right right over you at the moment into Madison. And again, it's regatta weekend. A lot of folks out. So just be aware of the lightning strikes and perhaps even some small hail that may develop with that. That's likely falling right now into Madison. If you're watching there and you're safe to do so, let me know what you're seeing, especially when it comes to hail and any gusty winds. Again, that's kind of moving right through the heart there of Jefferson County, Indiana, and it connects all the way just east of Jennings. That's a strong cell there. I don't think there's a warning. No, I don't see a warning on that one. So that one's tracking to the northeast at the moment. All right, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch that just came out. There's 2 of them that have been issued, and I think really Carol at the moment. Let me double check. Nope, Carol just got added, and there it is. All right, so Carol's been added. So everyone watching right now is under a severe thunderstorm watch. The timing on these all look to be the same from when I'm scanning here. They're all 9 p.m. So 9 p.m. is the window we're looking at for the storms to end, at least the severe threat right now. Where are you at, Sandra? You're in Hanover, and it's pouring, but not severe. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. I think right now lightning is the bigger issue on some of those. All right, you see new warning is out. Let's check in. This is going to be into Crawford, Perry, and Harrison County in Indiana until 30 minutes after the hour. Severe thunderstorm warning located just west of Corydon. Tracking that direction. Here's the camera, by the way. Let me show you. This is live right now into Corydon, looking at that cell moving in at the moment. We'll be monitoring this. I was seeing blue sky for a while on this particular camera. Not seeing that anymore. But look at the hail. You see that hail size listed there, 1.25 inches on the hail. That is ping pong size hail that we're talking about that could develop. And again, so far they've had a history of quarters. So that's something we'll be watching as they continue to move off to the north and east. The cells are doing what we call splitting at the moment. What that basically means is when they form in this kind of environment, the type of wind shear that we have, the cells don't usually stay as one particular cell and track to northeast. They begin to split off, and you end up with 2 different directions that the storms can do. So that's when you look at this line, you can already see that happening. One cell is heading into Meade County, and the other one's trying to split now and head right into the heart of Harrison County. That makes it's a challenge for the Weather Service because they have to constantly adjust the polygons for that as they move through. But certainly if you're in Corydon, it may not look like it's heading toward you, but it's splitting. So it's likely going to develop in your region. We'll keep an eye on the rest of Perry County, certainly Crawford County, southern part of it likely will feel some of the impacts of this as it tracks northeast. It's a pretty good warning right now to give you a big heads up on that. Louisville, we're watching you guys. Obviously, we got a lot of folks at 4th of July events. There's a Bats game going on right now. There's nothing in immediate concern to the city. You're going to see a lot of darkening sky because of the anvil head that is coming off of the thunderstorms into Meade County. That's blowing over the city. So it's going to create a very weird look to the sky with that flying right over Jefferson County. But at the moment, we'll see what happens with these cells as they approach Jefferson from the southwest, or if something new can pop right over the city, which is possible. We could see that. I wouldn't rule it out. Brandy, I'm in Meade County and Brandenburg area, getting hit south of that area. Yeah, so far it's just west of you there, but it's coming your way. You're going to get some light rain before you get the heavier rain. So a little bit backwards today on that kind of a setup. You usually get the storm and then the lighter rain after. This one's going to be a little bit of a light rain, and then you'll ramp up quickly as that moves through. They just issued a statement, by the way, on Madison, Jefferson County, Indiana, just stating this is a strong thunderstorm, which we already we're tracking it there. But again, let me turn the lightning on. I have it off because when you get the lightning on this thing, it really kind of makes it busy. Can't really see too much, but I at least want to mention, I'm not seeing a lot of lightning actually here. Let me put this loop on a different time period so you guys can see that. Yeah, it's right over Madison. There's a couple of strikes showing up. So if you have the wave weather app, more than likely you've gotten a notification of lightning in your area. So that wouldn't surprise me. That's quickly heading to the east there of 421. So it's about to move out of Madison here very, very soon. But you could have more that connect and move in as we have through the evening hours. So right now, it's right along any county, if you're watching, that really it just hugs the Ohio River. That's the spot to watch for this first round. I mentioned the first round because, yes, there is a second round that will be developing to our west. Before we get to that, get another warning. This is going to be the southern side. Again, we're seeing the split that is happening here. So now we've got a cell that's heading almost due east. The severe thunderstorm warning for the rest of Breckenridge County, really, just south of Hardinsburg, is that track Hail on that 1/4 inch size potential, winds potentially up to 60. Although any storm today, if they can get organized, which I think will be later when they get better organized, those are the ones that can easily get to 80-mile-per-hour wind gust, which is quite high. That does damage. I don't see anything like that right now. But that storm, again, severe thunderstorm warning for Breckenridge. So Breckenridge, you're under almost three different warnings and three different directions here. One's heading east, one's heading along the river into Meade, other one's heading right into Harrison County. So it's kind of multiple lines here that are forming. Perry County, that storm's getting taller. So we'll be watching that for you guys as it heads to north and east. Okay, let me switch over to a different radar view at the moment because I want to get to the other storms to the west of us. It's worth pointing this out for those of you who have plans tonight. This is where the storms are going to continue to really ramp up and try to organize. We'll be right here in the southern areas of Illinois. This, even though we are getting storms now into Louisville and around the 64 corridor, this environment is one that will likely allow for additional severe storms to track in nearly the same spots, even if you already had rain. Typically, we talk about rain, cool air, stabilizing things. This particular setup is a little different. It's getting a constant feed of moisture right now coming in from Tennessee that's going on the other side or the bellies of these storms along the 64 corridor. That will likely keep them going and refiring them. So it's a little bit of a different, odd scenario here. This is also a good flash flood setup, potentially a setup that features very heavy rainfall. You guys have already picked up a lot here lately, so we need to watch that as a secondary threat moving through. I'll show you the Storm Prediction Center outlook, but I really think it's kind of a mute point, right? We already know storms are popping. Let me show you, though, where we are on that. It'll be updated again in about an hour. It's an enhanced risk that is still the same, roughly along and south there, 64. But again, I don't want to get too caught up in that because it's already developing. MPing, we always keep an eye on some of these wind reports. We got one that showed up that is going to be just some, just twigs, trash cans, stuff like that being blown around. It's the only report I see. However, on hail, I got a feeling we may have some here. All right, I got one listed there that is about quarter size, and the other is dime size hail. Both of those were in Hancock County. That's probably what the report was we had earlier. Some of these additional reports may come in as we hit the next few moments, but those are the two right now that we have. Futurecast, by the way, does show how the storms are going to evolve here tonight as they move in from Illinois. Modeling, it's tough to do right now, but you get the idea between now, 6, 7 o'clock, they'll be rolling through the area. But this is not an all-nighter, thank goodness. This will move through, and then we'll actually get into a better environment on the air side as we get into later on tonight. For the sunset time period, things will begin to calm down, which is certainly some good news. Okay, so let me get back to the radar and kind of just do a quick update on that, get to some of your questions, and then I need to get back to, I'll stay with you guys, but I'm just going to get back to analyzing a couple of things here on the radar. James, how likely is a tornado in Shively in Louisville? I have no idea. The tornado threat is non-zero. What I mean by that is that this is not an environment where we're going to get supercells and really tornadoes just kind of drop down and form. They will need help, if you will, if a storm collides with another storm. That tends to cause a disruption in a wind field, but at the moment when they first do merge together, there is a chance there could be some rotation that can develop. So that's why it's a non-zero threat. It is possible, but I don't think it's going to be anything overly significant on that end of the trail side. I think hail and damaging winds, straight line winds, are the biggest issue. They just updated the warning. This is crazy. This is, what is this at Williamson, Illinois area. They have had a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. I believe it's like 5 times in the past 36 hours. They have absolutely been hammered, and they've got another tag for winds of 70 miles per hour that are rolling through Illinois. So these are mean cells here. This is a little faster again than we saw the past couple of days, which is why we do think we're going to have a little more of an issue in wave country than we've had. We've been lucky because past few days overall, the storms that have moved in, we have been on the eastern side of where the instability right there along 65 begins to wane. And so as the storms approach, they've been weakening. So we've seen a dramatic reduction in warnings with them moving through, which is good. But today it's a little different. We're actually a little more in the heart of it. So that's why I think we're going to have a little more of an issue on some of the warnings. Got another spotted report. This is going to be in Breckenridge County and Webster of pea-sized hail. So not very large, but certainly gets hail hail always gets the attention of anybody. All right, looks like this is a new warning for southwest Louisville. This is going to be southern Jefferson County into western Bullitt County, Hardin County, and southern Harrison. So if you're in Louisville or Links Valley Station area in PRP, you probably are getting your alert right now that is coming out. So let me give you the specifics on this. This is a severe thunderstorm warning until 3 o'clock. So the top of the hour. Wind 60, hail quarter size is a threat. So again, that's going to be just on the southwest side. I'm getting my lens alert right now on my phone for Jefferson County. So that's going off. So if you guys have lens alerts, that's triggered right now. All right. So severe thunderstorm warning again, right there in southern Jefferson County, southwest Jefferson County. Just a big heads up. That's a good warning to get everyone in place and get you into a good spot, safe spot before they do begin to approach. That cell, all right, we're tracking the southern part of that. Let me see if I can get our cameras while I have that up. So I see your comments, so bear with me there as I kind of work on a couple screens here. It's like playing DJ over here at times. Just not as fun. Okay, let me bring up. We have several of our cameras, our network cameras around the metro, and I'm going to show you the cell. We can actually see it pretty high up here from the harbors that is moving into Jefferson County on the southern flank. But again, that anvil head is what is now moving right over the city of Louisville at the moment. So let me bring this up. This is going to be, did it kick in? It did. All right, let me show you guys what that looks like. And again, this is looking from the harbors in Jeffersonville toward Harrison County, southwest Louisville. You start to see where the cumulus are actually starting to go up. When you see cumulus clouds like that beginning to bellow up in advance, there is actually new development trying to form right over, I would say, southern Harrison County and southwest Jefferson. There's new cells that are trying to, at least the cumulus are trying to form. So these cameras tell us a lot about how things may evolve here. So we'll be watching that as they move through. So a slew of warnings kind of moving through right now through areas just west of Louisville. All right, let's kind of run through some of your questions real quick here. Sorry about that. It took a long time to answer that. Scott, how will the rain affect the storms? I think I answered that a second ago, but it will really not in this environment. It's a little different scenario, so I don't think it will be. Amy, what about our northern counties in Jackson? You are in that zone. You just will get a little more of a delay here, it looks like. With these cells that are beginning to split, we should start to see a few more of these begin to pop a little more to the north. So you will likely see it all happen here between now and about 5 or 6 p.m. It'll begin to pop. So at the moment, it looks like it's missing you, but I think they'll redevelop right over you. So certainly into Jackson County, be ready for them to pop. Bullitt County has got the warning now. It's the western side of Bullitt County. Roughly the Brooks exit to the west is what we're watching at the moment. See, Tara, I live in Carrollton, Henry, and Trimble area. Are we getting anything? You got a cell now that is actually to your north that is not grazing basically and more into Jefferson County, Indiana, so it's more across the river. But these are trying to connect at a bit of a struggle. I haven't seen too much right now that's formed. So it's really these guys kind of still in the show at the moment. But they're all really splitting in different directions here. That's going to be tough to really time out. But if they continue to move to the northeast, they will be heading in your direction. But I do think if you're in E-Town, some of these here could really split and turn a little more to your right. So be aware. In the E-Town area at Shepherdsville, these will be heading your way as well. They're not moving very fast, guys. They're moving only about, I believe it's like 20 miles per hour. That's quite slow. So that makes it a bit of a challenge. We got the that wind report, by the way, into Illinois. Now, I know the warning was for 70, but now they got a report that it did indeed reach 70 miles per hour back there in Illinois. So they'll sell. So, yikes. Okay, let's hope we don't get that here, but that is possible. That is possible. Let's see. Angela, you're by Dean Lake. You are getting a downpour now. You don't have anything severe near you there at Dean Lake, but it's heading your way if these cells hold together. Again, everyone that's watching right now, I do think you are in a zone where storms can either move in from your south and west here, or they can pop right over you. So there's two different ways you can get a storm in this kind of setup. They are developing and training themselves. You can see even areas that have had storms already move through, you're already getting cells that are kind of popping even in that environment. So it's, again, I think that rain cold air is not really going to apply too much here today as we move to the north and east. You see the line connecting all the way back to the west in southern areas of Illinois, all the way to about, say, right along the Wabash, just west of Evansville. Evansville, we've talked a lot about here lately, right? Evansville's been hit a lot with big-time showers and some storms rolling through that area. Right now, that's just west of our counties, heading to the east. That's something I don't see right now that we need to worry about until they fill in a little more. Louisville's really lucked out the past few events here. So that's the reason why we have more people, obviously, right here in the metro population, but even all the way up into Madison, a lot of events going on. So this is the area we'll be watching as these cells kind of evolve. They're not rapidly moving in. So I'm hoping you guys are getting the alerts. Don't get me started on the whole Twitter fiasco right now. That's tough to get these messages out, but don't rely on that. That's for sure, because you're probably not going to get it. But if you have the Wave Weather app, I've been trying to send out some of these alerts specifically so far today about parts of the area that are starting to show signs. I'm not going to always be able to catch every one of them, but I try to get some of these out that we had. Let's see. Tawana is helping us out here today. She says, viewer says hailing west of Clifton Mills on 86. I'm not sure where that is. Is that in Breckenridge County, Tawana? I think it's in Breckenridge County. Could be Meade. So guys, let me know where you're seeing these cells move through. Okay. The new development there into areas of Oldham County, I'm not seeing anything yet. It's trying. It is trying. Madison, on the eastern side. I don't like that signature either. You may get some small hail to that one, but it's moving on the eastern side. So you probably are still getting a very dark sky there with the lightning moving through. There's a few more lightning strikes, not a ton. Lightning is actually a really good indicator of a storm strengthening or weakening. When the lightning count really begins to go up, that is concerning for us. It tells us the updraft is getting stronger, and you're likely going to run into problems with hail that can move through. Okay, thanks, Tawana. That was in Breckenridge County near Webster. Okay, let's see. What's this for? Oh, this is just west of Louisville. Okay, large hail potential on that. I'll show you that in a second. It's just not far away from Evansville, but they've really, Paducah's getting really aggressive here with some of these warnings. So I'm watching that. You see the wind field? Let me kind of reduce this to like an hour here so you guys can see that. Not overly strong, but it's certainly enough to move the trees around. You're noticing the wind is coming out right now out of that cell, moving into Jefferson County and the northwest side of Carroll. Carroll officially is not under a warning, by the way. It's not quite the warning level, but just want to at least mention it. Into Breckenridge County, these are all more a downdraft type of winds. You can get downburst winds too in these scenarios. You can really get strong winds. Downburst winds basically are like just pouring a bucket on the ground, kind of goes everywhere. That's what the storm is doing. It just dumps a bunch of wind, and usually in about 10 seconds, something like that, 10 to 30 seconds. Doesn't last very long, but when it does that and drops the wind down, you get a lot of high wind. They are commonly mistaken for tornadoes because of the intensity that happens, but it's the damage path that is key. All right, look at the southern flank. Looks like they issued yet another warning. Wild here, guys. Breckenridge County has got 4 warnings now for Breckenridge County. So this is going to be just south of Hardinsburg, where that wind is showing up in that area. Let me see if I can get the tag on that warning. I don't even see it in the system yet, to be honest with you. Hold on one second. Yeah, I don't see that. I think it may have been an adjustment, actually, of that one. That's Kirk, Tar Fork, Westview area. That's where some of the strong winds are coming through. Let me check the hail on this one. It moves across areas of Breckenridge County. A couple of hail tracks there. So, yeah, I think quarter-size hail, you betcha. It could certainly fall out of that. I'm not seeing the hail tracks moving into Harrison County, though, as much as is on the southern end. That's a good thing. Linda, just wanted a warning in Bullitt County. Yeah, we're watching it. It's not into Bullitt County yet. They're not into Bullitt County yet. It's a well-advanced warning to make sure everyone in the western side of Bullitt County is at least ready, just in case something were to hold together. And right now, there is a storm coming your way. Heather, is the storm in southwest Jefferson County moving towards J-Town? If it holds together, yes, it will. Hi, Kristen. I hope all is well. Dark clouds and thunder there. It's not far from the casino there into Elizabeth, Indiana. We'll be watching that. So appreciate that. All right, so this is where we stand. The warnings we've got are 4 different warnings in a very small area. Severe thunderstorm warnings, what we're talking about. Moving across the Ohio River zone just south and west of Louisville. There are additional cells popping back into Illinois. Look at all those warnings all stacked up in Illinois. These are all the ones that got 70 mile per hour wind tags on them and confirmed 70 mile per hour winds that are racing toward Evansville. If they hold together, that would be an issue for the I-64 corridor in about, I would say, 2.5 hours before they get to our area. So we got some time, and they could totally change their behavior by that point on how they look on the radar. All right, let me get you to the radar view portion because you're looking at the wind. Hold on 1 second, and we'll show that scan. Again, these are the cells that are moving across Bullitt County. A little bit of an outflow right there. You're actually just west of Vertrees. That is actually a very mean-looking cell. And just south of Hardinsburg. Hold on 1 second, because we do have a Kentucky Mesonet instrument there. Let me see if I can get a gust on it. Right now, I'm getting 33 miles per hour. Same into Brandenburg. So getting a strong wind gust out of this, but this is an outflow that is moving across Breckinridge County. See that line right through here, strong wind gust. This has probably got some hail. Let me get a little closer on this. See the lightning is also very concentrated. This is definitely a hail core, guys. Just over Kirk. Let's see if I can name off some of these. Let me pull this full screen because I'm getting old. I can't even read that. St. Mary's Church Road in McQuaddy, Kentucky. Jolly Farm Road area. Jack Monarch and Smith Lane. Again, on the western side of Kirk. That is where we've got the hail that is likely fallen out of this one. So let me know when it's safe to do so. This is just southwest of Hardinsburg. Let me kind of back this up on the loop. Hold on 1 second. We'll kind of track it. And it's heading right into, at least the hail core is heading right into Hardinsburg and near Harned, Kentucky. So right there in the central portion of Breckinridge County, that is by far the strongest storm we've got in the area. It's pretty good hail core on that one, at least showing up on radar. Some of that can melt, but I think right now we need to really watch it as it moves through. If anyone's in that area, let me know. I'm trying to scan through. But if you're there into areas of central Breckinridge County, let me know. That's where we got the strong wind gust right now. Let me see if we can get an eye on the wind or the strong hail core signature. Let me look at the wind as it moves through. Hold on 1 second. These computers are mad at me today. We've been really stressing them out lately, which I think everyone gets that. The problem here, okay, here's an issue. I may have to switch to a different spot. The storm itself is right parallel to the radar beam here. So if the wind is blowing kind of in this direction, it's not going to look exactly accurate. Strong wind gusts there into central Meade. That's the 33 mile per hour gust. And that's not severe. Severe is considered 58. So it's not to that level, but it is certainly noticeable as that's passing through central Meade County, heading toward West Point, Radcliffe area, if it holds together. So that I'm watching. There's another pocket of wind, not terribly strong, not far from Irvington. And then it's more of a wind and hail combination, but the lightning concentrated area, that is still a sign the storm's getting stronger as it's over that area. Just over Kirk, heading toward Hardinsburg. That cell heading right now over Hardinsburg. So we'll see what happens as it moves over Hardinsburg into Harned here very soon. Heads up for Garfield. You guys are not only getting the strong wind and hail out of this. Okay, they just adjusted the warning. You see that? They just drew it right there for that particular cell. They adjusted it. They've got the wind right now at 16. They've got the hail at ping pong size is the hail potential on this. The warning is still out until the top of the hour. So another 30 minutes. So they got rid of the southern portion of that. They're just focusing now on the polygon that's right over Hardensburg at the moment. Let me look at your comments. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to ignore you. Anyone there in that area? I don't think anyone is. Everyone, a lot of you are in Indiana right now. In Salem and Jeffersonville. What's the track of the cell that is moving through there into Breckenridge County? Well, that's a good question, Angela, because it just depends on how it interacts. Look at that outflow that is showing up on the eastern side of this into western areas of Hardin County. You can get strong wind gusts, but you likely will get a lot more development here with very heavy rainfall right on the western side. The wind threat may begin to ease a bit too with that outflow getting out, but that's what we're watching. Louisville right now, again, we're just seeing how this is going to evolve. It's like watching bumper cars kind of play off each other, how they evolve, and these cells are kind of splitting in the area. So right now, if this continues to build, let's check the camera out. This is going to, again, looking at that area. Let me see if I can turn it. This is going to be just northwest, actually southwest of the city of Louisville. Hold on one second, and I'll be able to turn this. You're looking toward the western side of Jefferson County at the moment. We do have a camera too into Cordon, so I'll check that here in just a second. Right now, though, let me look at this one. This is, again, right into the city of Louisville. So at the moment, some of you, I saw someone commented, I think someone in Salem, that you got sun at the moment. Yeah, because you're just on the other side of this whole ordeal. Okay, they're going to keep the other warnings. They're kind of just send a statement out, adjusting them. All right, so how is this going to impact into Muldrow Hill, West Point, 31W area, Dixie Highway, Louisville Road, whatever you want to call it, moving right into the northern part of Hardin County and heading toward the Jefferson Memorial Forest right now. Very heavy rainfall. I don't like how this is really training, though, all the way back. I mean, a lot of rainfall here, guys. It's going to be moving right across Meade County, eastern Breckenridge, and northern Hardin County. A lot of rain coming through. But that's not right now severe. It's just sort of going to get your attention as it moves in. Okay, hold on one second. Let me check some more reports here. Okay. So that, again, that's the live view of the cell. Sorry, you guys can't even see the radar. Apologies. Don't yell at me. All right. That's where we stand for Louisville. For those of you in Radcliffe, E-Town, this outflow could develop another batch of storms right in behind it. So as soon as that green little arc passes over your neighborhood, there could be development immediately behind it. And that would give the appearance the storm is turning right. It's just new development, though, following the outflow, because the outflow is like a mini cold front. So that's moving across Hardin County. So watching that. So if you're in E-Town, be aware. We could easily see some new development here for you guys as it tracks to the north and to the east. These cells here into Indiana, we're watching Crawford County. They're trying to get a little better organized there into Leopold. I don't see a warning for you all. That certainly could change for Perry into Crawford. So heads up for you all. I'll keep an eye on that. The lightning count is going up. One thing we can also do, guys, with these cells, let me show you a different look, is we can track the height of them as they move through, and that gives us a good indicator if they're getting stronger or weaker. So these are what we call the tops of the thunderstorms, and that looks a little weird because the radar beam at Fort Knox is skews how this is going to look. But you can certainly see the tops here on that thunderstorm in Perry County have really gone up. There was hardly anything there, and then boom. Let me see what the height is on it. 40,000 roughly is, you get around that level, you're going to start talking about severe, and it's at 40,000. So it's right there at it. So we could get a warning here soon for Perry and Crawford. So if you're watching there, stay tuned. You'll see it pop in here very soon if that's the case. Meanwhile, I can't see anything in Louisville because, again, the way the radar beam is. That's east of Madison. It went up, you see, got into orange and then went back down. That's where the storms, they develop and then they collapse on themselves. All right, reports here, multiple reports, a lot of reports of P's to dime size hail in Hardinsburg. So that storm, it's not quarters, but it's getting your attention, but it's a lot of reports of it. So as that cell is moving over Hardinsburg, you see how tall that one is, right over Hardinsburg, in fact. Let me look at the height on that one. It's just moving right over the core of it. Still a lot of lightning too, right there in the center. That one's at 46,000 feet. So certainly at the severe potential for hail. All right, so that's just another tool that we're able to use to kind of get an idea of how they're developing, getting stronger and tiring up, and then how, if they can collapse. Yes, collapsing means weakening, but collapsing also means the wind will go up. So we need to watch that too. So when we see those colors go back down again, we need to watch for a burst of strong wind. So a couple of things, but that's just one of the tools we have of many to kind of track these storms moving through. So at the moment, the warnings are still stacked up for Southwest Jefferson County into Meade County and Breckenridge County. And it's really just for a couple of cells that have kind of merged together into one, moving through the area. Jaden, is there a tornado threat into Breckenridge County? Not right now. I do not see that. But strong winds, again, they're colliding. So anytime we got cells colliding like that, we got to keep an eye. But no, right now, I do not see that environment. But good question. I know everyone's always thinking that. In fact, Ashley, do you think there would be a tornado threat for Louisville? I don't think that's, I really don't know. I don't want to pretend like I know that answer. I don't know that answer. All I can tell you is that it's a non-zero threat. There's a possibility. These are not the type of tornadoes that, if they were to form, that stay on the ground for a long period of time. They're very, very brief. That isn't really comforting at the same time. But I think your straight line wind, your hail, that's a more bigger issue that we got here today. But we're watching it because there's still quite a bit of lightning concentrated in both of those cells. See the Weather Prediction Center. I wish you guys could see this. I can't show you it, but let me read it. It's a statement. This is the Weather Prediction Center. They're ones that handle heavy rain scenarios, flash flooding, and they just issued a statement for all of the area, basically. Potential for 2 to 3 inches of rain, posing the greatest risk here for flash flooding, especially along and west there of I-65. Okay, they're going about 1.75 to 2 inches per hour, with a couple of cases of 2.5 inches per hour on some of those storms. And as far as rainfall, that's, again, rainfall doesn't really get as much of an attention grab as I think it should, because that's the number one killer that we have in our area is flooding, not tornadoes. So that's the one we got to really, really watch. I'm keeping on the cell here. I get a couple little small hail cores going up, especially into Perry County here. Let me check the winds on this, make sure it's all right. Because again, it was about 40,000 feet. So it was getting right to that point. Some strong winds. I don't see anything too excessive there, but it's certainly got a wind field to it. So it is definitely moving the trees just west of, you see Leavenworth and Crawford County. So west of that area that we're watching. I'll keep an eye on it, but I still think you guys need to be weather aware into Crawford County, Perry County, and northern Meade, right along the Ohio River. So Brandenburg, you may get hit again with these cells that are moving your way to the north and east. Louisville updates. We're keeping an eye on right now the southwest corner of Jefferson County. These cells are going to try to turn more east, though. They're going to follow the outflow, so they're going to go this way. So this is going to be probably a Gene Snyder to I-65 zone. These are the ones right now. I mean, the way they're split here, I mean, they may very well stay on the northern side. So what about the middle of Jefferson County? Yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Depends on how this split goes. But this is not the only round. It's important to mention that. There are others that are popping to the west. We got to get through these as well. This is going to be a long 6 hours, all right, to get these cells through here. I mean, they're all the way back, building. Oh, my goodness. Missouri. When does it stop? Oh, there we go. Arkansas. It's a long train of thunderstorms. You can see why the flooding issue is a problem, because they're going to just keep flowing right along areas of the Ohio River, heading to the north and to the east. That's the reason why we're going to have multiple warnings here today in that corridor that we're going to have here for severe thunderstorm and flash flooding. That's a mess. That is a mess. Not the best of news, guys, if you have outdoor plans here tonight for your 4th of July events. Although personally, I'm okay with rain after I went through with the dogs last night. They did not do well. So if you're in the neighborhood, guys, kind of keep that in mind. Ryan, interesting. The breakout happened earlier than expected today. It was pretty much on track. We were going 2 to 8 p.m., so we're we're good on that. I don't think it's overly too fast. There are a couple cells that may have been a little fast on this leading edge here at about 1 o'clock, but that's, I mean, you gotta have to have a little bit of a buffer zone. But I think it's overall the main message we want to get out, and we tried to yesterday, is that these were going to be an earlier event of storms than we've had the past couple of days, and therefore they'll also be ending earlier, which is good. Still watching that cell there into Perry County. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else on that particular cell. There's a lot of storm spotters out now. Unfortunately, let me show you an example. Like when you look at this particular warning that's moving into southwest Louisville, let me show you the warning. It's impacting about 2,000 people. So you would think that'd be really, really high, but that's actually a very wooded area. Obviously, we have Radcliffe and West Point, but there's a lot of wooded areas, so there's not a huge population. So we also, in turn, don't get a lot of reports versus the one that's down into Hartonsburg. That's impacting about 1,300 people in a very small area. So the location of these storms, this is not for at least weather purposes. We tend to have a tough time getting reports out of this zone, pretty much out of anywhere. So they're going to be a bit delayed. So bear with us on that as these kind of kick in. But that's kind of where we stand on that. Let me try to pull up some of the reports on the hail, see if we got anything on that. Again, these are going to be the hail reports, and we'll see if there's anything new. I don't see anything new. These are from MPing, so these are just, it depends on who has the app. So if you don't have the app that are using that feature, then we're not going to get the reports. So it's a little bit tough, Fireworks show tent in Salem. Yeah. Anybody that has a tent today, that's not good. I mean, obviously you can use a tent if it's fine right now, but you need to make sure you got everybody ready to go, that you can gather to hurry up, get that tent down. You do not want to have a tent up in this kind of a situation, because they will begin to, they'll pick that up and carry it away. I got a warning on the eastern side of wave country. It's actually just outside of our area, heading toward Cincinnati. I got more storms forming there around the Terre Haute side, more to the west. But right now, I think we're just going to see how these two split. It's interesting to see how this one range here, and again, one splitting this way. There is a chance that some of you in Louisville may fall right in that little gap zone. The exception is if we get development that'll form right in between those two. And let's see, let me pull that up the camera again. This is again looking from the harbors in Jeffersonville. Very ominous looking clouds. There's no doubt that's getting your attention for those of you that are watching right now. Like, what in the world's going on? And you're probably hearing the thunder too, and maybe seeing some of the lightning pulling through the area. Let's see. What about later today, Savannah? That's the main concern we're going to have, is how these are going to evolve as we head through this afternoon. But the flow is stuck right now. And it's worth mentioning that those that are watching golf right now on NBC, and some of you are, there is, I know, a NASCAR race this afternoon. We don't know yet if that is going to happen, because there is a significant flash flooding event that is happening in Chicago. I mean, we're talking about life-threatening flooding. Sorry, I forgot again. A life-threatening flooding into Chicago right now. So there is a chance there may not be a race car or NASCAR race. I don't know if they've even decided yet, because normally we would hear that from Twitter. So if that changes, I'll let you know. But that's a big story. That's more of a national headline. But for those that are wondering about the race today, that we're going to be airing on Wave starting officially at 5. There is a chance that may not happen, and that's the reason why. It's not because of us not airing it. It's because of just the mess they've got in Chicago. So a big ordeal there. But that is the driver, actually, of the entire event that we're tracking here for our area, is the low pressure in Chicago, because what that's doing is just spinning around. But our flow is basically, as I mentioned, it's stuck right now. We're on one of the little spokes or the spins of that low that are moving through Chicago at the moment. One of those lines and spokes, like you think of like in a hurricane, if you will. One of those zones is right along the river, and it's not really moving a whole lot. What will move it? The storms will do that. They will organize enough to pull the boundary a little more east as the low does eventually move eastbound. So that's the reason why there will be at least some motion later, but it's going to take a few more hours. And it's while they're trying to do that they are the most dangerous for us as they try to organize for damaging winds and hail moving through. Okay, let me see. Well, Jessica, thanks for being on. You're welcome. We've got several of our Mets right now that are watching this. So we had different aspects that we're trying to take care of behind the scenes and on air here to get you guys covered as well. Orange juice. Is the pressure over Chicago an anti-cyclone? No, it is a cyclone that is moving through. Thundering there into Valley Station. Thanks, Harold. Appreciate that. Right now, I think even though we have the alert out for Louisville, I do not see that getting redrawn right now. So I think they'll be able to adjust that. If it holds out, the storms are catching up to the boundary there, the outflow, because the outflow, again, was only moving at about 20 miles per hour. So the storms are just, they're going up to the speed limit now and starting to catch up to it. So I don't know if there will be another issuance of a warning here for Hardin County and to Bullitt. It's possible. Still think we're awful close there, guys. We're still awful close in Perry and Crawford. And we'll say these evolve into Corda. But you notice, this is looking at the past couple of hours here. We really haven't seen a lot of eastern progression, right? They try to move east, but they keep building west is what's happening. So there hasn't been too much of progression yet east of that line. It will eventually happen, but so far we haven't gotten to that spot. So that's why the polygons, when they draw those yellow boxes there, they usually don't go too far out from the storm because confidence on how long they'll maintain is pretty low at the moment. Thunder into Carrollton. Thanks, Maxine. Appreciate that. Glenda, storms heading into Bardstown. Not at the moment. You have an outflow. Same one. It's in Hardin County. If it can hold together, but it's running out of gas. If it moves toward Nelson, it could develop a new cell into Nelson. That is possible. Wind is up into Radcliffe. Thanks, Tammy. Appreciate that. That's right over your area. In fact, the radar beam, which is why it looks so weird, is actually in Fort Knox at the moment. Okay, let me actually pull up some of the, see if we get any wind reports there. Yeah, I don't see anything on at least where the gauges are placed right now. I just got a lightning. Again, if you have the Wave Weather app, you'll get that lightning notification. So based on where I'm at here in downtown Louisville, it already just notified me that lightning is within range. That's important on a day like this when you're out. Even though you've got a little bit of sunshine, there is the potential that lightning can still strike you. All right, there's the warning. We got it now for Harrison, Crawford, Perry, and Meade County. So that cell is right at that level now for a warning. So hopefully, if we got everyone in their safe spot there, because we've been kind of watching this one for a while. It's the threats on that are all coming in at typical 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail as that moves to the north and east. All right, let me see if I can check on a couple other cells. And I may not be able to stay on the whole time here today, guys. I just want to give you all an update on where we stand, where these storms are in the metro, and then we may have to come back a few times here this afternoon, evening with other updates. So be aware of that. So I don't think we're going to be able to last 6 hours. There's no way. I don't think any of us can talk that long. But at least want to go a little more in detail than a social media post of where we are at on this. And this is just the beginning of an active few hours ahead as these cells, again, try to build more and more. We'll see whether or not some of these can start to evolve into something more significant or not. That potential is there, but I think it's going to be a busy afternoon. I think we're going to get several warnings because that boundary is stuck. And as I've said before, even if you're getting rain now, doesn't mean you're good. You could easily get a storm to move through, even if you have rain cooled air kind of a setup, because it's so. Someone commented earlier, I forgot where it was at, about how humid it was. It is very humid outside, very humid out. So it's the humidity that's really driving. We're 85 right now at all the international, even with a cloudy sky moving overhead. All right, so I'm going to wrap it up for this point right now. I've been with you guys almost 50 minutes, but I will keep an eye on your comments as we have the remainder of the afternoon. Again, you may see us again here very soon as we come back on. If there's anything threatening immediately to, especially the city of Louisville, since we have such a large population, we'll be going on the TV side. And if you are big into the golf right now, we're going to have a box up, so you won't be able to miss any of that. But we'll make sure that we get on the air if we need to be, and we will be. So just keep an eye on Wave on the TV side. Turn up the volume, or you can keep it on our streaming channel, Wave Weather Now, which is on Roku and Fire Stick. And if there's any other alerts, we'll jump in and let you guys know. Stay safe, everyone. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. I want you guys to have too much anxiety and stress. All right, let us do the stress and worrying for you. That's how I got the gray hair. And we'll watch this evolve as we have the next few hours. Keep an eye on the Wave Weather app. Download it. Don't rely on social media for all the alerts there. The app is working just fine, and it will be able to track where you're at into the area and find you, so you can hit the follow section on the location. If you already have it set for your area, but you're going to a friend's holiday party, you're going to go to a pool party, whatever the case is, hit the follow button so our app can follow you. That way, if there is an alert for where you're at your friend's house, it will indeed notify you. All right. Stay safe, everyone. I will see you guys. Well, I hope I don't see you. I'll change it. I hope I do not see you the rest of the afternoon, but I got a feeling that I will.